manufacture baked beans, oils, plastics, and alcohol, while our breathtaking natural wonders include...
Your Excellency, welcome. Thank you. Good to see you. Your trip was good to United Nations? Yes. Good to meet you. Thank you. Welcome. Yeah, nice. Presenting over graduation somewhere?
Yes. I was one of a number of speeches. And 2 more to go.
Pavilion.
Kenya Barbados Business Forum is an opportunity for the business community of both countries to interact and share ideas and experiences on trade, on investment, and tourism, and to translate them into tangible outcomes. This will ensure that our private sector benefits directly from our bilateral relationship. It will also help to move our nations up the economic value chain and act as a platform for accessing international markets for both Kenya and Barbados. The benefits of bilateral and multilateral engagements must cascade and translate to great investment in people-to-people, as well as industry and senior level complementarities. Kenya is strongly committed to our bilateral ties and the dividends that our people and business communities can draw from them. We are encouraged by the manner in which our private sector actors have clicked perfectly, displaying consensus and a cordial mutuality of viewpoints that augurs well for future progress. More importantly, this forum will provide a platform to identify opportunities for partnership and collaboration leading to the increased trade between our two nations. Our business communities are sufficiently mature to identify and harness the spectrum of possible complementarities and strategic opportunities. While the existing nominal trade volumes is attributed to a number of factors, including distance between our two countries, I believe that there is a huge scope for all of us to do and do very well. With the business community coming together, we can look forward to a broader portfolio, greater focus on value addition, and the tackling of supply-side constraints. This calls for vigilance and speed in adapting the inevitable structural transformations, especially in terms of reducing the dependency on primary commodities. Kenya is a gateway to East Africa with sufficient appropriate infrastructure and policy environment to enable the private sector advantageously engage the larger East African community market with a population of about 172 million people. In addition, we are at an advanced stage in creating a single African market under the Africa Continental Free Trade Area. This development will eliminate both physical and non-physical barriers to trade and facilitate free movement of goods and services in a continent with a population of 1.2 billion people and a combined GDP of $3.4 trillion. I therefore urge the Barbados business community to look to Kenya as the entry point to the East African region and to the Africa continent as a whole. Similarly, I urge the Kenya business community to look to Barbados as an entry into CARICOM, the oldest surviving regional integration community in the developing world. Further, we need to look at new investment opportunities such as fintech and the creative industry, where it is possible for small countries to punch above their weight. Kenya has made concerted efforts to improve the business and regulatory environment and is now ranked number 56 out of 190 countries, according to the Doing Business ranking of the World Bank of this year, 2019. A great improvement from the position of 136 just 5 years ago. Further, Kenya has opened new investment opportunities through the implementation of priority development programs, the Big Four, which comprise universal health, food security and nutrition, affordable housing and manufacturing. We invite you to come and partner with us in this new venture.
We believe, especially after the wonderful reception and exhibition that we had yesterday with respect to the financial services industry and the indigenous banks of Kenya under the auspices of the governor of the central bank, that once we put some of your people and our people together, I can only imagine what the creativity will allow to blossom. We come from a small place, but we know how to produce people capable of global excellence. You reminded me yesterday that you wanted to see Rihanna. And we all know that Rihanna has established herself now, not only as one of the most successful and wealthiest musicians, but as a serious businesswoman in the area of fashion and in the area also of music, and is literally an iconic figure for the millennial generation of this world. The opportunity for us to inspire excellence among our people, particularly within the creative sphere. I've spoken to you about the pioneering work in solar water heaters, about the brands that we have in rum, and within the tourism sector, Barbados has become known as one of the top destinations globally, as a mature tourism destination offering respite and relaxation to those in the world who can afford it and who want to be able to recharge their batteries in a place that is as close to paradise as possible. We offer that opportunity. But we also recognize that you don't want necessarily to eat fish or chicken every day. And just similarly, tourists want to be able to have different experiences. And in that, we recognize that the demographics that are attracted to Kenya's tourism sector are the same demographics which Barbados literally markets our destination with. And therefore, the opportunity for co-marketing, given a different experience completely, is there. And it allows us not only to fuel the co-marketing, but also to look at opportunities for investment from Kenyan brands into the Caribbean and from Caribbean brands into Kenya within the tourism sector. Your Excellency, you pointed out sufficiently to us that the size of the East African market alone at 172 million is more than worth our efforts in order to be able to make this a reality. Similarly, our own market, while not 172 million, is a significant addition and one in which you will find yourself comfortable in trading and working because you will feel as though you belong when you settle into the Caribbean. We therefore believe that those paltry figures for trade in goods are likely to be able to be replaced by significant figures for trade in services and investment opportunities. And the presence of the Kenyan indigenous banks with the visit that is to be upcoming in February is perhaps one of the most significant achievements from the outcome of this trip. We have seen a contraction in banking services from the traditional banks in the Caribbean, not just Barbados, over the course of the last decade, largely driven by international regulatory prescriptions that cause people to determine that our market is too small to matter. I am told that your own banks received tremendous opportunity when you had a similar contraction of interest and presence in Kenya by the international banks. It is up to us to ensure that we provide the services that our people need in order to function and to trade daily and to support their families. And banking is as essential as oxygen for families and businesses to be able to survive. The innovation that you have developed here with M-Pesa is globally known and is as impressive an innovation in the 21st century as any other. To that extent, therefore, we are hoping to work with your sector, your companies, your banks, to be able to ensure that we can create the opportunities for the conduct of commerce in a moneyless, cashless environment that allow people to go about their business while reducing the opportunities for crime within their particular areas. We have come to this moment in time after both countries have long passed the 50th birthday. So we come as mature nations, and we come as people who have a sense of what they want to achieve and how they want to achieve it. We believe that our duty is to make sure that the environment within which you have to function is one that gives you the best possible advantage that you could otherwise have. It is against that background that this morning an agreement for the avoidance of double taxation was signed between our two countries, because you must not feel that you will be taxed in both jurisdictions when you establish companies to do business. That there will be a netting off that allows us to allow you to be as efficient and effective as possible and to be as competitive as you can be in the conduct of your affairs. Similarly, we anticipate that within a matter of weeks, that the treaty that will protect your investment, the bilateral investment treaty, will be signed such that as investors within each other's countries, you will, in addition to access to the normal laws of the land, be able to call upon that treaty for additional protection to give you that comfort when you make that step into the unknown. Thirdly, we have seen to it that our private sectors have started a similar process of communication. Governments, as I said, don't trade. But you, among your members, will be the ones who will determine what are the opportunities for the manufacturing of solar water heaters in Barbados, because with me in my delegation is the pioneer of solar water heaters in Barbados almost 50 years ago, such to the point that he and others have brought Barbados to the point where we are the number 3. We have the 3rd largest density of solar water heaters per capita of any country in the world.